It sounds like it could be pretty scary to violate a trade compliance, Joe. And do I have that right? What happens?
It's not scary, Randy. You just have to make sure that you employ the right people to help run your compliance. If not, those fines and penalties can be very, very debilitating to you and your company.
So how can folks avoid that? And what are there any common areas that get overlooked, I guess?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of areas within trade. Those that know me know I've got a little chart that shows all the areas in a company that are impacted by trade. And it's really every company, every department within your company has some way or another that they impact trade. So that's very important. But what you also need to understand, like if you have a problem with your imports, that your fines can be anywhere from 3 times to 8 times the value that you paid. In aggravating circumstances, it can be 8 times the street value of your goods. So if you've got a container and it's got $200,000 in there, and there's a problem with it that's violating a rule, that you can see how it can add up real quick. With exports, they can be roughly $300K or twice the value of the transaction as a penalty. Both of those can cause a loss of goods or seizures of your goods. So there's a lot of different ways, but what a lot of people tend to miss is the bad publicity. And you say, well, how do they know about that? Well, if you're a smaller company and you're public, that anytime you have the potential for a fine, it could cause an SEC 10K filing, which is just a notice that says, hey, we're going to miss our target revenues because we have this exposure for a violation of some type. Once that happens, Randy, your name is in lights. All your investors and all your board members and everything can see that. And that's when you get negative publicity, and you don't want that. So the idea is that you've got to be careful with your fines and penalties. And the best way to mitigate that is to hire somebody like Vigilant Global Trade Services to help audit your program or to help determine what that exposure may be and how you can get around it.
Scary to violate a trade compliance, Joe. And do I have that right? What happens?
It's not scary, Randy. You just have to make sure that you employ the right people to help run your compliance. If not, those fines and penalties can be very, very debilitating to you and your.
That's great. And I know, Joe, we just did a video on training too, on trade compliance. So there's all sorts of ways Vigilant can help. VigilantGTS.com. Stop by and check them out right now.